Good morning, I'm Larry Steinhouse, and welcome to Money Chat Now. Money Chat Now is a politically charged stock market pre-show giving you the politics behind the biggest moves in the stock market. It is presented with comedic common sense by an expert in financial literacy, and that's me, Larry Steinhouse. All right, today is Friday, March 24th, and I want to welcome you to the show. We are here live on WWDB Radio 860 AM in Philadelphia, and we are live on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Hey, you can find me on Facebook, TikTok, and other social media by searching Larry Steinhouse. Today, by the way, is Phone Call Friday, and you can call in the show live right now, and the number is 888-329-3306. 888-329-3306. On Friday, we like to talk to our viewers and listeners. And, please let me know what you think of the show. Give me a call if you have any questions. Let's have some fun. 888-329-3306. And if you're watching online, remember to hit that like button, hit that share button, and don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the Money Chat Now page on Facebook. You can also comment live during the show on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And please say hi so I know you're watching. Hey, by the way, if you're commenting from a group and it's not the Money Chat Now page, your name won't appear on my dashboard. So please go to the Money Chat Now page, like it, and comment there so I can recognize you. Like Michael, who just tuned in and said good morning. Thanks, Michael. I totally appreciate you. And, all right, let's talk a little bit about what's going on with Money Chat. By the way, Money Chat Now is brought to you by Investor Schooling. You can attend a complimentary class this Thursday by going to investorschooling.com. And there you will learn about real estate investing and stock options trading from those who do it every day. We had a really great class last night. We talked about HSAs, and we talked about mobile home parks. Well, we have a lot of students buying mobile home parks. It's kind of cool. All right, so coming up, we have the futures update. We have iPhone subscription. Apple is creating an iPhone subscription. We have gas subsidies. We have Trump suing Clinton. This is great. You're going to have love this. And we have Bitcoin ETFs. And, of course, if you'd like to call into the show, call in right now, 855-329-3306, 888-329-3306. All right, let's get into it. So yesterday was another decent day as the Dow rose about 350 points. Look, we had some good reports yesterday that gave the market a headwind. A drop in jobless claims to the lowest in decades gave some investors confidence that about the U.S. economy. This made investors feel like the economy will keep going forward. Look, you have to remember that most investors think short-term, and this is clearly a short-term signal, and they got excited. The S&P broke 4,500 again yesterday. Look, I could see a trend in a chart. By the way, I took a look at this chart, and I actually think that the S&P, if it breaks 4,600, we're going to see a bigger move, possibly another record-breaking move, just possibly. I also told you yesterday that chip stocks were the play, and chip stocks climbed yesterday. Shares such as NVIDIA were among the favorites of traders, and they buy it in market upswing. So, NVIDIA yesterday jumped more than 8%, and Intel was up almost 5%, and AMD also up about 4.5%. I mentioned Intel at the end of yesterday's show, and I told you it was a breakout. So I'm telling you, watch it. This is going to be really good moves. Uber also gained more than 4% after the company announced a deal to list all New York City taxis, right? All New York City taxis on its app. Let's talk about this for a minute because this is wild, right? We all know that Uber is the greatest thing since sliced bread when it comes to getting a ride and leaving your car home. Of course, taxi companies aren't all that happy with them because they're losing business now that Uber is taking it from them. So the idea of an app for taxi companies to compete with Uber went into play by companies like Curb and Creative Mobile Technologies. Now, these two companies had an app, and they were using it for taxis, and now they're going to integrate their software with Uber, allowing users to book taxi rides inside the Uber app. I got to tell you, this is huge for Uber, and it's huge for taxi companies. This sent the stock up about 4% yesterday. And, Uber basically said it expects to launch the feature later on this spring. And I got to tell you, I've liked Uber and Lyft as two stocks to buy and hold. These companies are in their infancy, and as self-driving cars start to really make it into the scene, these two companies, along with Hertz, who owns most Teslas, will really be the big beneficiaries of this self-driving world. Pretty soon, no one's going to need to own a car. They will show up at your door when you need one, and they will take you where you want to go, and then another car will come and pick it up pick you up after that. By the way, pretty much everything I was watching moved up yesterday, and it's funny because CCL was kind of my only laggard, but it did finish up. In fact, when it fell below 18, I added to my position. And I still think the stock has huge potential, and we will see. I remember when I used to ride CCL and RCL from spring to winter. I would wait for a hurricane season to shake up a ship, causing the stock to drop a bit, and then I'd pounce on it. What fun I used to have before this scamdemic ruined everything. Maybe one day it'll go back to normal, and the only thing I have to worry about is hurricanes. The oil stocks were also the big losers yesterday. I would say they are dried up, but every time I do, they seem to move up the next day. I still believe that oil prices are artificial, and they'll be coming down in price shortly, so we'll see. The goal will also be to keep gas below $4 for Biden so he can get applause for his actions to lower it. Please, but whatever. But mark my word, it's going to happen. It'll go below $4, and Biden will be so happy about it. Unless, of course, we talk about what I'm talking about in the future. You'll see in the next slide. All right, let's look at the future. By the way, today it looks like it might actually be an up day. The Dow is up 60 points, S&P is up 11, and the NASDAQ is up 45. Hey, don't forget, it's Phone Call Friday. If you want to call in and ask a question, or just call in and say hi, or talk to me about anything we've talked about this week, 888-329-3306, 888-329-3306. By the way, TJ is our producer, and you'll get to talk to TJ. Say hi to him. He'll put you through to me. You can talk about the war, the market, the State of the Union, or anything on your mind. 888-329-3306. 888-329-3306. All right, let's talk about iPhone subscriptions. So Apple stock has been on the move the last 2 weeks. And look, here's another great idea by the company that should also boost the stock. Apple is rumored to be introducing an iPhone subscription plan. This plan would be another recurring revenue source for Apple. Look, a big part of Apple's revenue is recurring billing services like iCloud. If you have an iPhone, you know about the extortion money that Apple charges you to own an iPhone if you use your camera for video or pictures. So basically, if you have about 800 pictures on your phone, you will wake up every day and be bombarded every hour by notifications on your iPhone that say things like, your iCloud storage is full, and for 99 cents you can buy more. I don't know if anybody else has experienced that, but it gets to the point where you just say, fine, I'll pay the 99 cents, please stop notifying me. And by the way, then if you have a lot of stuff on your iPhone, you're going to pay $2.99 for even more storage, because that happened to me, and I had to start hitting that button too. This is the business model that drove Apple to be a $3 trillion company. Well, they're using this idea to create a subscription service for the iPhone. It'll be a monthly fee that you would pay addition to your 99 cents, and you would have the latest and greatest iPhone sent to you each time Apple upgraded their hardware. I got to say that this actually is a really brilliant idea. Most people buy their hardware from Verizon, AT&T, or Sprint, or something like that, and they pay a monthly, no-interest payment when they purchase the phone. The carriers did away with the locked-in 12-month contracts. I don't know if you guys remember this. When they discovered that they can get you to finance the expensive phone and be locked into the company because you still owe them money for your phone. So in order to get out of the contract or to get out of your service, you just got to pay off your phone. So if you still owe $800, you got to pay them $800 to move it. The retention of their customer base is great because of this change. However, Apple will now be taking the same idea by selling you a phone via a subscription service. They will now control the phone and the payment. I'm also going to guess, and I haven't said anything, but I'm going to guess that Apple will soon be its own cellular tower, will either own its own cellular towers or rent cellular towers and become its own cellular company and be a major player in that arena. Watch. Look for this service, by the way, the Apple service, the iPhone service, by the end of the year. And my guess is September is probably when it's going to happen, when Apple rolls out their newest phones. Hey, by the way, I want to remind you once again, it's Phone Call Friday. Give me a call right now. You can give me a call at 888-329-3306, 888-329-3306. Please call in. Let me know what you think of the show and if you have any questions. Real quick, I want to say hello to some people also online. I want to say hello to Lou and Jose and Michael and Bill and Ken. Thanks, guys. Hey, I've been telling you guys about a great event we're going to be hosting at the Washington Crossing Inn in Bucks County. It's all about finances and freedom. Come on. And by the way, no masks allowed. And if you feel you need to wear a mask, you probably don't belong there. Anyway, along with myself, we're going to have the outspoken Bill Spadia. We're also going to have Doug Mastriano. Tell you, Doug Mastriano, he's going to be a contender in the governor's race. It'd be actually a great place for you to meet this guy and learn a little bit more about what's going on with him. By the way, not only these guys are going to be here, but we have 5 other guests who will be teaching us how to make more money and pay less taxes. So go to 4mmw.com, 4mmw.com, and register for this event before the price increase. By the way, I got something for you. You guys want a free ticket? Tell you right now. You call 888-329-3306 and ask me a really good question. TJ, make sure that when they call in, you take their phone number so I can call them back and give them a ticket. If they call 888-329-3306 and ask me a great question right now, I promise you that I will give you a free ticket. All right, let's talk a little bit about gas subsidies. Hey, were you one of the lucky ones who got free money from the government last year? Did you get the $1,200 so-called stimulus money? How about the $300 a month per child for tax credit advance? You know, your entitlement money. The money you're entitled to get, well, because you believe you're entitled to it. Well, the government has gotten so good at distributing entitlement money that they have a new plan for entitlement. That's right. Just when you thought the national debt couldn't get any bigger than $30 trillion, the government is now trying to pass a new form of stimulus money to make oil companies rich. Check it out. No joke, this is exactly what they want to do. So 3 congressional leaders, all Democrats of course, have proposed $100 energy rebate payments that would be sent to Americans during any month with a national average gas prices higher than $4 per gallon. I told you that $4 per gallon is going to be a big number. This bill is called the Gas Rebate Act of 2021. I don't know, I usually have gas rebate after I eat it, Chipotle. Guess how they're going to pay for it? They're going to raise taxes on oil companies. I almost spit out my coffee when I read that this morning. So here's the plan. Let's raise taxes on the oil companies. The oil companies will raise their prices at the pump, keeping the price of gas always above $4. Then we send everyone a check for $100 as a gift to buy votes, of course, right? And this will keep the gas prices over $4 a gallon and make the oil companies very rich. Brilliant idea. Only Democrats can figure out how to make the people that they argue are greedy make them more rich. No wonder all the legislators are investing in big oil. I know, sometimes I got to talk to people and they tell me that the government isn't in business to make money. And although that may be true, the lawmakers are certainly in business to make money, and that's their policy. All right, let's do this. Let's take a quick commercial, and we will be right back.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start. Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from 2 Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
All right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse. And of course, if you'd like more information on Investor Schooling, you can go to investorschooling.com or call 866-424-2829, 866-424-2829. Hey, we got Lewis on the line. What's going on, Lou?
Hey, how you doing, man?
All right, man.
Listen,
so, talk to me.
The question I have for you is, you know how you said yesterday when Apple, you're waiting for Apple to drop to 165 before earnings and stuff like that? I'm trying to figure out, how do you figure out that number? And also the entry and the out? Yeah, right. Look at the chart. How do you do that?
So this show is a half an hour long, and we have 15 minutes left.
I know.
And I would need an hour and a half.
Well, that's a good question. I know.
But
okay,
why don't you come to? Have you ever been to Investor Schooling class?
2 times, and I did it the other day on the thing. It's okay. I'll figure it out. I'm gonna go by one of these days. I'm trying to figure out. But
I'm
already signed up for the program. Yeah, I signed up for the workshop that you got, the $197 thing. I already signed up like 3 months ago. I'm waiting for that, but I'm making some money. I made some money on Apple this week, and I made some money. I'm waiting on Facebook. And so the program is working great, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. So.
Well, I'll tell you what.
And that was my hard question, but to check.
That's right. TJ has your number. I'm going to give you a call, and I'm going to get you another ticket so you can bring a friend. If you've already bought a ticket, I can't refund that one. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you another ticket so you can bring a friend. But I totally appreciate your call.
Oh,
go ahead.
I'll get that ticket. Thank you.
You got it.
I use it. No, good.
Thanks, buddy.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. And don't forget, anybody else wants to give me a call, 888-329-3306, 888-329-3306, and we'll probably get you a free ticket to the upcoming event as well. Hey, right now, real quick, the futures are up. The Dow is up 88, the S&P is up 15, and the NASDAQ is up 69. That's pretty good. We talked about iPhone subscription, gas subsidies, and coming up, we have a great topic. Trump is suing the Clintons. You're going to love this. And, of course, we have today's picks and plays. Hey, you definitely want to hear it. You guys definitely want to hit that share button. You definitely want to hit that like button. And, of course, if you're on WWDB Radio, set your preset to this station and listen every day at 7:30. And don't forget to call in, 888-329-3306. All right. So this is from the, oh, my gosh, this is great stuff files. Former President Trump has always been a fighter and a go-getter. By the way, that's something we could probably use right now as a president. But let me get to the story about Trump suing Hillary Clinton. So Trump filed a lawsuit yesterday against Hillary Clinton, the Democrat National Committee, and others for allegedly conspiring to weave a false narrative during the 2016 presidential election that Trump and his campaign were, and basically they're saying that Trump and his campaign were colluding with Russia. He actually filed a suit based on RICO laws. Now, this is wild, right? So RICO, which stands for Racketeer, Influence, and Corrupt Organizations Act, is basically what this is about. So RICO is a United States federal law that provides for extended criminal penalties and a civil cause of action for acts performed as part of an ongoing criminal organization. Wow. He's actually calling a spade in his lawsuit. He's actually calling the Clintons and the DNC of being a criminal organization. This is huge. It's bigly huge. The lawsuit says that Clinton, who was his Democratic opponent, of course, in that election, and other defendants perpetrated the scheme, falsifying evidence, deceived law enforcement authorities, and exploited access to highly sensitive data sources in a way that even the events of Watergate are pale in comparison. This is fantastic. It's just whether he wins or loses, it's just fantastic. I just think it's so cool that this is happening. Now, the lawsuit seeks more than $72 million in damages, an amount that is triple the $24 million in legal fees and other damages that Trump allegedly has accrued as a result of the defendant's purported contract. Right? Okay. We know about the investigation and the subsequent resignation of FBI Director Robert Mueller, and his findings were nothing. He found nothing that implemented Trump. And my guess, and the theory of many, is he resigned because of what he did find. Lots of evidence to prove Trump was right and is right. My guess is that Trump is going to be calling Mueller as a witness. By the way, the article is a hidden gem, so try to pay attention to how this story plays out. My guess is that Mueller will be suicided right before the night he needs to appear. Trump's attorney on this case, Alina Habba, said, for years, Hillary Clinton and her cohorts attempted to shield themselves from culpability by directing others to do their dirty work for them. This lawsuit seeks to hold all parties accountable for this heinous acts and uphold the principles of our sacred democracy. Yeah, man! This is wild. I can't wait to see how this plays out. I also know that it'll probably be buried and no one will talk about it, but it'll be fun. Hey, by the way, real quick, if you guys want to call in, 888-329-3306, 888-329-3306. All right, let me get to this next topic here real quick. Let's talk about Bitcoin ETFs. By the way, Because of the short time I have on this radio program, I had to make a choice to either talk about Biden's threat to Russia, basically if they use chemical or nuclear weapons, or talk about Bitcoin ETFs. I realized that Biden's threat to Russia is basically one sentence. Don't do that, or I'll cry in the corner, or I'll tell my mommy on you. So I figured we'll talk about the important stuff like Bitcoin ETFs. So we saw a bunch of Bitcoin ETFs open up the past year, and these ETFs were designed to help the average person take advantage of Bitcoin or crypto investing without the complicated equipment or knowledge of Bitcoin. You know, we had 3 players in this market, and they're basically, I don't know if you know who they are, they're basically ProShares Bitcoin Strategy ETF, Valkyrie Bitcoin Strategy ETF, and VanEck Bitcoin Strategy ETF. The symbols are BITO, B-I-T-O, BTF, and XBTF, respectively. These funds are all down for the year. In fact, they're all down about the same 27%, and they're also lagging Bitcoin itself by about 9%. That means if you invested in Bitcoin instead of the fund, you may have actually had a better return. You also have to realize that these funds do not hold Bitcoin. The SEC has still not approved that type of fund. These funds hold futures only. It's sort of like options on the price of Bitcoin. That would make these funds highly volatile and not necessarily move with the price of Bitcoin. The fund, however, does move on the sentiment of Bitcoin. That means the fund price is kind of like related to the price of Bitcoin, only because more people become interested in Bitcoin, it increases in price. So these funds are usually great funds to day trade, but I'm not a big fan of long-term investing in them. My suggestion is if you want to invest in Bitcoin, go directly to the source. My other suggestion is Bitcoin may be pretty stable for a while. I'm not a big fan, but that doesn't make it a bad choice for many others. Look, you know, I just happen to think it's just not for me. By the way, wasn't that a better topic than talking about Crybaby Joe's empty threats to Russia? Hey, we're going to take a break, and if you want to give us a call, 888-329-3306, 888-329-3306. See you in a minute.
Investor schooling needs a new slogan.
Investor schooling? Never heard of.
Investor schooling?
Never heard of.
Investor schooling? Never heard of them.
Any suggestions? Phil?
Investor schooling. We never heard of you either.
Investor Schooling. We never heard of you either. Register for a free class at investorschooling.com.
All right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse. And if you'd like more information on investor schooling, you can go to investorschooling.com or call 866-424-2829, 866-424-2829. All right, real quick, hey, I want to say hello to a couple more people who join us online. It looks like Michael and Jack. Jack likes my jacket, apparently, and, didn't have the patience for me to mention it, so he wanted to know if I was ignoring him. Yes, I'm ignoring you. All right. Let's talk about the futures. The futures are up $82 points. The S&P is up 14, and the NASDAQ is up almost 60. So it looks like it might be a good day. We talked about iPhone subscriptions. We talked about the fact that the government wants to keep gas prices high by giving you $100. Wow. We talked about Trump suing Clinton, and that's going to be amazing. I can't wait to find out how that plays out. And, of course, we talked about Bitcoin ETFs. Coming up, we have today's picks and plays. But did you guys hit that like button? Did you guys hit that share button? Hey, Jack, you like my jacket? Hit that share button. Let everybody see my jacket. You can also leave comments on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, or YouTube. And if you're listening on WWDB Radio, set one of your presets to this station and listen every day at 7:30 for all you need to know about the politics behind the stock market. All right, let's talk about what's going on. We're seeing a nice 2 weeks in the market as all of the indicators are moving forward. By the way, this is a quote from an article on CNBC, and it states that the S&P 500 is now up more than 8% from its recent lows earlier this month. The rebound has come despite no concrete signs of progress in the war in Ukraine and the fact that the Federal Reserve indicated last week that it expects several more rate increases this year. And this makes some Wall Street professionals skeptical of the rally. I love this stuff. It actually proves my theory of how the stock market really works, and it has nothing to do with the news, interest rates, or earnings. It's all about steak and tuna. This is a theory I teach, and trust me, you want to learn it. It's easy to understand what's really going on here when you apply the steak and tuna theory, because it applies to everything. Today, By the way, today, it's kind of an enigma to me. I'm not really sure. I can't really make a prediction on whether I think the market's going to go today. But if it goes down, grab the bargains. And if it goes up, make your money. Options expire today, so we'll see some confusing moves as the investors try to balance their losses and gains in these volatile plays. Okay, real quick, for the last time, the Dow is up 85, the S&P is up 14, and the NASDAQ is up 62. Let's talk about something on the crypto scene. So Bitcoin popped, and it's now back in the 44,000 range. It's not bad if you bought it at the recent low at 35,000, and Ethereum is also moving up slightly, and it's also about 3,100. I told you it's not for me, but hey, it might be a good play for somebody out there. Gold pulled back on the great stock market results this week, and it's still above 1950, and silver seems to be liking the $25 range and is sticking there right below 26, right? So oil, of course, right? Oil may be settling, and it's now at about $111 a barrel. And this is the indicator to watch. If it moves up fast, the market's going to go down. If it moves down, the market goes up. Watch this, because it used to be the Treasury bond, and now the Treasury bond is actually staying below 2.4%. By the way, just for some perspective, the bond rate in 2018 was 3.2%. So maybe this bond thing isn't so bad. And for those inquiring minds, the bond rate was the highest ever in 1982 at just under 16%. This was when people were paying 18 to 21% for the price of a home loan. Will it get that bad again? I really don't think so, but I'm definitely thinking it'll be in the 5 to 6 range in the next 3 years. Hey, I want to thank you all for watching, and I want to thank all the listeners on WWDB Radio 860 AM in Philadelphia. I want to thank you for your continued support, and if you're enjoying the show, please reach out and let me know. You can leave comments on the WWDB fan page or on the Money Chat Now page. My name, of course, is Larry Steinhouse. I'm the host of Money Chat Now, and I'm also the CEO of Investor Schooling. Hey, you guys order my book yet? My new book is called Money Hacks, and if you'd like, you can go to barnesandnoble.com, look up Larry Steinhouse Money Hacks, and I promise you, you're going to learn something. Matter of fact, I discussed something last night that is in my book. I talked about HSAs, and this is something you're definitely going to want to learn, and how you can save money on taxes. I'm sure you all like paying taxes, so you really don't need the book. But in case, there's one or two of you that, feel that the government should get more taxes, you don't need to buy the book. But if for $20, you're going to save a whole lot of money. And by the way, it might even be tax deductible. All right, I also want to remind you that from time to time, I own some of the assets and options discussed in this show, and the opinions discussed in this show is solely mine, and no one has asked me to discuss them. I want you guys all to have an awesome weekend and make it a profitable day.